Hey everyone, I'm Steve Hinder, Director of High Performance for Whatever It Takes Transmission Parts. I'm here with some good friends of mine, I'll let them introduce themselves.
Hey guys, Montana Cherry here with SunCoast Performance. I am over our research and development as well as a team driver for our very own Orange Fury.
Hey everybody, Robbie Ferguson, and I'm the Special Projects Manager for Whatever It Takes Transmission Parts.
Hey guys, so today we're here at SunCoast Performance to discuss our new kits that we're working with these guys with. It's our new Defender XD line. What they are, they're a kit that's designed around the working class men or women. These are for vehicles that are just really pushed to the limits on a day in, day out basis. We'd like to rip into it. We're gonna show you some cool parts, some new things we got in there, and looking forward to it.
All right, let's kick it off. Now early on, Steve, we coined a term for these kits whenever it's still being developed. Do you remember what that term was?
Yeah, we coined it mission critical because the kit is designed for vehicles that really are critical to be on the road. Like you said before, we've talked ambulances, fire trucks, working class men and women again who pull heavy loads. They can't have their vehicles down. They need to make sure they're going to perform and work just as hard as they do.
That's right. These are really well targeted for fleet service vehicles as well. So first out of the box here, we have our SunCoast private label complete overhaul kit.
And Montana, walk us through this overhaul kit. What's special about it? And don't you guys create this kit based on your bill of materials?
That's correct. This would be the same exact overhaul kit. If you guys were to order a complete SunCoast trans from us, this kit is what is going in your transmission. It's complete for two-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, down to if you want to rebuild the solenoid pack, you can do it with this kit.
Okay.
Tried and true, been tested.
Correct. Following that, OEM stock pan filter. And then, of course, your OEM spin-on filter.
All right, so Montana, tell us the importance about having the OE filter in this kit versus just a plain Jane aftermarket type filter.
We opted to go with the OE filter due to the anti-drain back feature that's in that. You know, a lot of these aftermarket filters, sure, they're going to be cheaper, but at what sacrifice? The drain back is a sacrifice. A lot of times with the cheaper filters, you'll get a cold start with no movement, things of that nature, slow engagement. So to combat that, we include an OEM filter.
Okay, good to know.
What's nice about these kits too is SunCoast have been using a lot of their recipes, if you will, for a long time. So a lot of the little things that might seem minuscule, it's real world applications they're trying to make sure we stay in front of any little small hiccups along the road, right?
That's right. The idea behind these kits were, hey, we've been building with some awesome premium products for years now. Let's have a complete kit that brings those products to the market for you guys at home. And following that, same as before with our gasket seal, our piston kit, this is the same kit as well that goes into each and every one of our builds. We opted for some different branding on these pistons versus some of the cheaper aftermarket ones as well. We've seen a lot of failures. You have issues where the rubber will tear away from the piston itself. So with these guys, no more of those issues.
Outstanding.
Next up out of the box, we have probably the most key ingredient for any 68 RFE rebuild, and that of course is your overdrive, underdrive clutches. Steve's gonna go ahead and hold this for us. What we did here at SunCoast, we opted to run the OEM single-sided board warner clutches. The caveat to that is we include a machined overdrive reverse pressure plate as well as a custom underdrive overdrive apply plate with a securing snap ring. Now what this does, it allows us to run additional frictions in your overdrive clutch circuit. Of course, that aids in dissipating heat as well as the ability to hold a little bit more power in the stock, longevity purposes.
Right, so obviously that's the weak packs in this transmission is the overdrive pack mainly. And so increasing the capacities there is going to help with longevity. Also for you guys that are hauling heavy loads and constantly beating up on these transmissions, you're going to need the extra capacity in the overdrive clutch.
That's right. So moving on, we're going to go ahead and grab the rest of our clutches out of the box here. As you can see in front of you here, we have your single-sided board warner, low reverse frictions, as well as your 4C and 2C. Now, again, with the SunCoast kit, there are some differences from your average rebuild kit. Now, sitting in front of Robbie here, it may look familiar, it may not. What that is our proprietary SunCoast Billet 2C piston. Once again, we're adding a friction to the 2C clutch pack, helping dissipate heat, helping that planetary have a little bit more holding capacity.
So it looks like it's also got a much wider lip on this piston versus an OE piston, which I know has a thin lip area where it applies.
That's right.
So what's other advantages to this piston? It looks like it's a billet piston, obviously. So you're not only increasing the apply area, you're also giving you more area to put additional friction.
Correct, where that piston is a little bit shorter than a factory OEM style piston, meaning that we're able to add that fourth clutch to the 2C pack.
And we've been using this same piston in a lot of builds, a lot of kits across the country. It's proved itself many times over. We got one more pack, and it's some pretty stuff.
Let's see if Robbie's familiar with this. Robbie's been doing some builds. He's pretty familiar with our parts. Let's see if anything stands out in here.
Well, first thing I notice here is this billet threaded piece, which looks like it goes to the spin-on filter. So
Correct.
Let's talk about that for a second.
As everybody knows, a lot of times you guys will go and think there's a transmission issue, the transmission's dead in the water, it doesn't move, only to pull the pan off and realize your spin-on filter's laying in the pan, the plastic threads have gave way and spit the filter out. So what we have here is our billet steel threaded nipple adapter. What that's going to do is prevent that filter from blowing off and ending up in the pan, causing a no movement situation.
So yeah, you'll see the OE filter, although it's a great filter, it does come with plastic threads. And so obviously this will be removed and you'll replace it with a nice billet threaded piece, which is going to keep it from basically blowing out of its position and causing a no move condition.
This kind of goes back to what we were saying before. We're looking for problems that we hear from you guys in the field and of course here at SunCoast, and trying to listen and try to fix that problem ahead of time. You're not going to have to worry about it.
All right, so we got a couple other pretty items that come in the kit here. Nice shiny billet items. This one looks like a snap ring retainer. So let's walk through the advantages of this one.
That's right, as Robbie said, this is our Billet 4C snap ring retainer. It is a pocket retention design, meaning once this piece is in place, push down, you put your snap ring in and release the tension off of that. That snap ring is completely encapsulated within this pocket. There is no way, shape, or form for this guy to blow out anymore. More often than not, we've torn cores down where this has been a failure point. Obviously, once that does blow out, your unit is not going to have a fully operational 4C clutch pack, and that's going to cause issues down the road. So this right there, it's a very simple solution for a very large problem.
That's right. So one of the beauties of this kit is that we can include items that SunCoast has developed over the past years through their experience and seeing the failures that come in through their doors. And so these items are great add-on type items that are going to make your transmission last longer. And we understand that, you know, these are hard-working transmissions, and you guys are putting them through the test each and every day. And so we're including these items that we know are failure items, and we're going to create a kit that is going to work better for you.
And also, just so you know, almost everything you see, all the billet items, are made right here in-house in SunCoast. This isn't ordered in from somewhere else. They got their hands on everything. So the quality is just second to none.
That's right. All of our aluminum pieces here that you'll see in front of you today are 6061 billet.
Awesome. So it looks like we got another retainer here. This one I'm assuming is for the snap ring on the input hub. So why don't you walk us through this one?
This is actually your snap ring retainer for your underdrive balance piston. Once again, throughout our years here building units, a lot of times we would see that come back either in a core or even in a warranty situation. We opted to use the same pocket retention design as we did on the 4C retainer as well, meaning that there is no way for this guy to come loose and destroy the unit. If you notice on the back side here, there are locking tabs that engage in the balance piston itself, keeping the snap ring retainer from also moving.
Right, which is also a failure item or creates metal in the transmission. When that starts rotating, you've got metal on metal, and so we're going to eliminate that issue as well. So one other fancy item we have here, looks like we've got a billet washer. I know in the factory unit it comes with a plastic washer. So tell us why we need a billet washer there, Montana.
Once again, everything that we have out here and that we've developed have came from factory found issues, meaning, once again, cores that came in with that fiber washer broken. You know, heat cycles are definitely a killer for anything that is plastic based in these units. So what we did at SunCoast, we opted once again to make one out of 6061 billet. We retained the oiling grooves, that way you're not starving your planetary still. And on top of that, I do get asked, do you guys offer multiples of this because the factory is selective? The short answer is no. We opted to go with the thicker one, providing you with enough material to work with to go and shave this down and get the correct end play that you choose.
Outstanding. I think we've all made jokes about it. It's sad. Some of these items are so pretty, it's sad that we have to hide them.
It is.
Some of the prettiest stuff you'll never get to see, right?
Guys, listen, to sum this up, I'm gonna go ahead and bring us home here. This kit, I wanna be very, very clear with y'all. This kit that we are offering to the market now, these are the exact same components that are in the SunCoast builds that have been trusted time and time again by both fleet shops as well as racing. Everything that we have here is built for longevity, no matter what the application use is for it.
All right, so now we're gonna move on to the Tier 2 kit. We got some really cool items in the box. Looking forward to show you guys the changes. Let's rip into it, Montana.
All right, first item out of the box is a full Torrington bearing kit. This is complete from your input clutch hub all the way down to the black bearings on the output shaft.
Again, same brand they use in their builds, correct?
Absolutely.
100%.
Next item, complete bushing kit. Once again, complete all the way from your input clutch hub all the way down. If it's a two-wheel drive truck, your output shaft bushing is in here as well. The next items that we have are some non-OEM items that are going to add a lot of benefit to this unit. First off, we have a complete billet accumulator piston set for the 68 RFE valve body. Everybody knows the factory uses plastic or some really bad aluminum accumulators that are prone to scarring the bore. What this includes, you have 2 guide seals along with a scarf cut seal that'll prevent that from happening.
So another added benefit, obviously, at a failure item, that we're doing an improvement item to replace the original design, make it a better unit at the end of the day.
And Robbie, I'm sure you're pretty well, everybody in the industry is well informed that the factory style accumulators, they bypass a lot of fluid. You're not getting the full fluid applied to that accumulator.
Exactly.
Awesome.
And then a SunCoast item here. Robbie, go ahead and hold some of these pieces.
That doesn't look like a 68 RFE
No,
filter.
no. A true SunCoast item is our zero cavitation filter kit that is also included with this Tier 2.
So this obviously is not a 68 filter. This looks more like a torque flight filter.
That's right. It is based off the 727. Within that, you have more filter surface area along with a higher flow media.
And before we move on, another thing that's pretty cool about that filter is we know that in our market, sometimes parts are hard to come by. I've never seen that filter run out. Have you, Robbie?
No, that one's always
We
in
can find
stock.
that one. We can find that one. We've been selling that for a year or two by itself. Phenomenal feedback. Everyone loves it. It's just a really cool item that they designed.
All right, and obviously we've got a tube here and a billet block, so we're relocating the filter. We're going to lower that filter down into the pan. So what's the advantage of that as well?
Yeah, like Robbie said, we're gonna go and lower the filter as deep as we can in that pan. That way we're gonna suck all the nice cool fluid off the bottom of that pan. And speaking of the pan, that is our last item here. Included with that is the pan necessary to run our zero cavitation filter. This will work in 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive applications.
And don't fret, if your guy has a aftermarket pan, he's pretty loyal to it, spent some money on it, there's a good chance it's gonna fit. I've seen guys in the field say that there's small little ribs in the bottom, they'll go in and grind them down. But if he's got a deep pan, you're probably not gonna have no problems, wouldn't you agree? Okay everyone, a little recap of everything you guys are gonna get in our Defender XD Tier 2 kit. It will include the SunCoast Overhaul Kit with bored clutches that have an expanded capacity in the overdrive with 3 additional frictions. You're going to get a SunCoast 2C billet piston, the SunCoast 2C expanded capacity clutch pack, adding 33% more friction surface area. It also has the SunCoast 2C choline steels, the 60 RFE Mega 4C spring retainer, the billet thrush washer, a billet snap ring retainer. Then to round it off, it's going to come with the factory spin-on filter with their billet filter insert. It will also give you a pan filter, a Sonex billet accumulator piston kit, a 68 RFE bushing kit, along with a 68 RFE Torrington thrust bearing kit, and the SunCoast zero cavitation filter kit with their included pan. All right, so to wrap things up, I'd like to say thank you to SunCoast for having us. I'd like to say thank you to you guys for watching us. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to your salespeople. We'd love to hear your feedback. Looking forward to seeing it in the field, and again, thanks. Again, this is our Tier 1 kit. This kit will be available at WIT. We have 45 locations across the country ready to serve you. Ask your salespeople today about one of them, and let's see if we can get one in the field and keep you guys from having a yo-yo.
And also Montana and I are going to take this kit and rebuild a transmission. So you'll have a video upcoming that will actually take these components and show you how we utilize them actually rebuilding a 68 RFE.
That's it, guys. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, everyone.